One job I wish I would have had that someday maybe I can. So if I get elected senator and I go on, I want to teach American history. But I'd like to teach you an economic lesson that we can all learn from poor spending habits that our state is accustomed to. And that is through a procurement system that eventually needs to be revamped. Could I have that news article I just showed you? Coming in from the back. This was in the Saturday paper of the Maui News. It says, Linda Lingle, our governor, questions the Department of Education's expense of $1 million, $1.2 million for a conference in Florida. Did people see this? Okay. Well, let me show you what was so crazy about this in this great attempt to make our teachers more prepared and better teachers. So I guess that was the purpose of the conference. By the way, it was held in Orlando, Florida. Not a bad place to go. Mickey Mouse and the Epcot Center there, and I hear Epcot Center is one of the best places you could ever go to visit. So anyway, the reason the governor took such issue with it is nearly, what was it, 10% that she estimated, nearly 10% of the total attendees of this National Educators Conference was from the Hawaii contingent. Well, 6,900 people attended this event, and 650 people came from Hawaii. 650 versus a total attendance of 6,900 people nationwide. Now, $1.2 million was spent sending them there, feeding them, and flying them back. And some ground transportation and tips for baggage, I'm sure. Because why would the state of Hawaii ever miss a chance of getting somebody an extra tip? Well, anyway, I wanted to show you how this could have looked at and been done differently. We have this thing, as my friend calls it, the great white elephant of Waikiki. I'm referring to the Hawaii Convention Center. It's not like we don't know how to have a party here in Hawaii or throw a convention. The Hyatt Regency Maui, the Maui Marriott, and the several hotels in Wailea were built with huge convention facilities. I know, I went to my prom at the Intercontinental Hotel in 1978. So there's always been an acceptance of group activity and conventions. So if we took this $1.2 million that was spent to send all these people across the country, which I hope you learned something, because if you didn't, I'm bothered. We take the $1.2 million here and we divide it by the 6,250 people that were not from Hawaii. That comes out to $192 a person. You'll follow me in a second. Now, if we took this $192 a person and we sent it to the people to augment or subsidize their airline ticket and say, instead of Orlando, we'll pick up the first $200 of your airline ticket if you bring a convention here. Believe me, the convention organizers would take notice of such a very abundant offer. So, we subsidize these people coming here out of this $1.2 million to $192 a person. Of those attendees, they stayed for 5 nights on average. That is a total of 31,250 room nights enjoyed and spent in various Waikiki hotel rooms and condominiums that are in that business. Let's just say on average, and this is a good average to use, $150 a night per attendee. Conventioneers don't get away cheap anymore. They charge $250 a night for any room at Comdex in Las Vegas, which is a convention city. So $150 a night, that works out to $4,687,500 in total room revenue for those 5 nights for these people to have come here instead of gone to Florida and met our friends at Epcot Center. Okay, now that's $4,687,500 in room revenue. Now you add the transient accommodation tax, and then you add the taxes for the sales tax of these hotel rooms, plus you kick in some sales tax on the food, because you know they're going to spend $65 a day for food. That works out to a $6.7 million gross for the economy of the city and county of Honolulu for just 5 days. Now, if you look at the taxes, we went just from the taxes for the room and the food on their per diem, this is what's left. $576,296. So instead of spending $1.2 million to send 650 people across the nation to go to a conference, we should have hosted it, and we would have only cost our educators $576,000 to host this conference. But I'm also not including the other purchases and expenditure taxes. So by the time we add in hula shows, boat rides, surf lessons, a ukulele that is made by Kamaka, you know that this number is even smaller, if not disappears completely. This is something to think about. This is foolish behavior. And by the way, when was the last time you heard about the Hawaii Convention Center being used for anything other than a small public meeting? It is the great white elephant of Waikiki. And as a senator, I would make sure we looked at stuff like this before somebody gets the bright idea of sending 650 state employees across a continent and an ocean where we could have made money and we could have saved money. That's why I should be your senator. This is the way I think. Aloha.